Hey folks, this is Steve, aka Ace King Offsuit. What you're about to listen to is a portion of the episode that we recorded on Tuesday. Unfortunately, we ran into a few technical issues with our recording software, so getting editing around that and getting that to a listenable point is proving to be quite difficult. So we will be a bit delayed in getting that out to you. However, we did have a very special interview with Aaron and Oreo from Main 6, the team that makes Them's Fightin' Herds. We've fixed up as much the audio to the best of our ability. There is one point where I have to complete a quote for Aaron, but so that might be a little jarring for you, and we apologize for that. But otherwise, we feel like this is a great interview that gives you a bit of a look into what the team is facing as they prepare for the release of their first DLC character, Shanty. That will be available on March 25th. So definitely, if you have the game, definitely check that out. If you don't have the game, give it a look. It's a pretty dang good game. So, with that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
All right, and we are live, everyone. Welcome, as always, to the Best of Five show. I am your co-host, the Purple Sharpie, but you can call me Sharpie if you're feeling especially spicy. And I'm here today with Steve. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing.
Doing it yet again. What a great upgrade from last week when you were just there, and this week you are now doing. That's a fantastic upgrade there, Steve. But you know what?
I might be okay by the end of July.
Might be okay. Why is that, Steve?
Just on the trajectory we're going here. just following the path.
This is a good one. All right, well, this week we have something very fantastically special planned for all of our amazing listeners. We actually have two fantastic members of Main 6, otherwise known as the creators of the great brand new fighting game, Them's Fightin' Herds, that released April of last year. And I'd absolutely love to welcome both Oreo and Aaron to the show. Everyone, Aaron is president and production manager of Main 6, and we also have Oreo, the QA tester, officially. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Sharpie. Pleasure to be here.
Nice to be on.
So my very first question, as always, is I have to direct this one over to you, Aaron. Aaron, how are you doing today?
How am I doing today? I'm feeling pretty good. We've got one more week left until the release of the 2.0 update to Them's Fightin' Herds, and we're in crunch time. We've done a pretty good job up to this point, and things are looking good, but, the last 20% is 80% of the work, as they say, and we're just running around making sure that all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed so that the release can be as smooth as possible. But things are good so far. We're not pulling any all-nighters yet, but we certainly are doing, we're hustling to make sure everything gets out the door on time.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that you are not engaging inside of crunch time, but you guys are still hoofing it, as they say. Oreo, same question. Oreo, same question. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a little stressful whenever you're getting really close to release. But I'm confident that we're doing a good job. We're gonna get everything done that we have to. It's always a bit harder on the QA team because we're sort of like we get the new content right at the end to make sure that everything is set and ready to go. But things have been going very smoothly in this cycle, and I'm feeling really confident. I'm really excited to see how the players like the new changes and all the new content coming out with 2.0.
Well, as
Oreo, I just checked in the rest of the game. Could you test, please?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll have that to you 2 months from now.
Thank you. No.
Well,
sorry,
Oreo,
Sharpie, go ahead.
No worries. Oreo, as your Skullgirl's neighbor, thank you so much for being here. Aaron, could you just give us a really brief history of Them's Fighting Herds for our listeners who may not know that much about it?
Oh, sure. Well, I must say that I wasn't actually with the team all the way back in the beginning of the history of the company, but I will do my best to give the tale justice. So I think it was 2010 when the first project really started to get off the ground, and that project was a fan game of the My Little Pony TV show Friendship is Magic, and the fighting game was called Fighting is Magic. Uh, but unfortunately, it got a little bit too big, and Hasbro issued a cease and desist order to the team and shut the project down. But that wasn't the end of things. A series of miracles happened after that, where
Lauren Faust, the original creator of the TV series, came to the team and offered to design new characters for a new IP. Then Mike Z and the Lab Zero team did an Indiegogo for Skullgirl's second encore, and one of the tier goals was that Main 6 would receive a royalty-free license to the Z engine to make Them's Fighting Herds.
and so the two things were combined. The project got off the ground again, and Them's Fighting Herds was a thing. They released into early access in February 2018 with the 1.0 release in April 2020. And we are about to release our 2.0 version, which includes our first DLC character, Shanty. And that's going to be on March 25th, which is in like just a little bit more than a week.
Can I ask something? Because Oreo, I know you were on the team a little earlier. What was that emotion like going from, obviously when you're doing a fan game, it's a passion project, it's a labor of love. Going from that, working on this thing that you love to, oh, we can't work on it anymore, to, oh, we get to make this new thing with this person that made the thing we love.
It was a roller coaster. The initial news was devastating and it was heartbreaking, and we sort of all panicked. We definitely went into a bit of a death spiral. Everybody on the team was pretty bummed out and just trying to find a way to cope, and we were like, what do we do now? But then as Lauren started to offer us another chance to keep going, it was unbelievable. It's hard to describe exactly what it felt like, because it was so unbelievable that there really wasn't any way to prepare for it, and it was completely overwhelming in all the best ways. And that's a passion that I haven't really lost in all the years working on the project. Is she really, came in and saved everything and reinvigorated us with years more of life.
It was really nice to see Lauren's involvement, especially inside of a game that so many people cared so much about. And I do just want to remind everyone, because I believe my microphone unfortunately shorted out earlier, that you can actually pick up Them's Fighting Herds 2.0, which will be releasing this year, March 25th, 2021. The DLC is actually for Shanty is going to be $5. You can grab that on the Humble store immediately March 25th. So I do have a couple of other questions. Of course, we're not exclusively here to bombard you for Velvet buffs, although she does need them. Aaron, I would love to hear exactly what production challenges and what things were easier for you this time around, moving from 1.0 to 2.0 instead of having to completely create the game, just doing some DLC work and like that. What were some challenges and what were some new things that you faced?
So game development is hard, and it never really gets easier. There are different challenges in the project now than there used to be, but there are still challenges. I think that the biggest thing that we have been able to do as a team is just get better working together and get more used to the tools that we are working with. So we are definitely a lot faster than we used to be. We've kind of standardized some methods and ways of doing things that didn't exist before, and we're learning more about like our audience and what the game needs and how to do things with the game. We've also had the opportunity to retool a lot of the way that the code works under the hood. So it's just spending more time with the people that you work with and the tools that you're using. Just naturally, you get better at all that stuff. But we haven't really, like, there isn't really like a pipeline that gets built and then you just churn content out. Everything, we're constantly pushing the envelope because we're crazy. And we're putting things in the game that weren't there before, and we're cleaning up things that didn't work right from the onset. So there's always some new frontier that we're pushing against when we're working on an update. There isn't a whole lot different about that from the earlier days to now. It's just the specifics have changed, really.
Of course. You know, it's really great that you state that you are pushing the envelope, because I do consider Mane 6 as one of the better developers of this year thus far. You all really came out with an amazing product in those Fighting Herds, and there are a lot of things inside of the game that aren't necessarily offered in other fighting games. You're definitely setting the standard for what is acceptable in fighting games, and that is greatly appreciated from consumers, of course. I'd love to direct a question over to you, Oreo. I know you do QA testing for the game, and I know I understand you also are in charge of a couple of the marketing things, such as the business inside of a small production team. Of course, I'm kind of curious as to what you are most excited about inside of 2.0 personally.
Probably what I'm most excited for are all the balance changes to the existing cast that are coming down. Well, is that true? I'm equally excited for that and Shanty. Shanty's a really fun character. I love playing her. I think she's actually my favorite character in the game now, and I'm really hoping the players like her as much as I do. If I have a choice of character to play, it's Shanty now. But all the other characters are getting a lot of love. We've been keeping an eye on how the game's been playing, and we have some changes we'd like to make, and I think they're good changes, but we'll leave it up to the players when it comes out on the 25th.
Which I do remind all of our listeners yet again, next week, Humble Bundle Store, definitely pick it up. All right, this question is for either Aaron or Oreo, whoever feels the most comfortable answering it. Obviously, there is so much hype around the game right now, but I know there is a very large section of the fighting game community who unfortunately do not play fighting games on PC. Is there any hope to them Fighting Herds coming out on consoles?
Maybe. We are really not there yet. We would like to be on consoles, but consoles are very hard to do. There is a lot of work that you have to do to your game to get them onto a console. It would be a first for the project in terms of maintaining separate code bases for each platform. It's been pretty nice, actually, just focusing on Steam, because it means we get to push updates out pretty much whenever we want. If we were to go to consoles, everything would slow down, and we would have to maintain different versions potentially on 2 different platforms. We have to worry about crossplay and networking. It exponentially increases the complexity of the project, and we want to make sure that if we get the opportunity to go into consoles, we want to make sure that's done right. So we're sort of vaguely sauntering in that area by way of our Linux and Mac ports, because a lot of the work that needed to be done to get those ports up and running will translate to console ports should we get the opportunity. So the work we're doing now is going to help it along later, but at this juncture, console ports are still pretty far a ways off. We really haven't started working on that. It's going to be quite some time if it does happen.
Well, I am happy that you are still open to the opportunity of doing it, and it sounds like it's just exclusively something that you're interested in doing, but obviously much more time is needed for that. So I'm excited to the hopeful future where we get to see them Fighting Herds, hopefully on many other platforms, maybe. Final question, obviously, and I'd love to open this one up yet again to either Aaron or Oreo. I know that you all stream very frequently on Twitch when you have your development cycles with other people on, obviously, your team, going over changes that you've made per patch, and I love the transparency and all of that. But for our viewers and listeners who may not know, where can they go to support Mane 6 and follow along with the development of them Fighting Herds and any other future projects?
Well, the most active piece of our community is the Discord server. So if you go to discord.gg/TFH, that's where everything's happening. We're all in there, us devs. You can ask us questions directly. You can get the latest news as it shows up. And if you want to show some support to the game, definitely purchase it and try it out. And if you like it, share it with friends. We also have a merch store. You can buy some cool T-shirts and pins and stickers, and we even have a little statue of Velvet, which is in production. Here, I actually have the sample right here.
You have
we're
a
gonna do the
sample and you
Sharpie?
didn't show me? Everybody,
well,
full
we took a picture
disclaimer.
of it, but yeah, this is the sample. It's final product may vary in color and shape slightly, but here it is. The factory sent us this just to prove that it was real, and we posted pictures of it. Now you know it's extra real because I showed you. We're working on it. It's just these things take a lot of time. Statuettes of all the things that you can do with merch seem to take the longest because like T-shirts are really easy, but you have to make a mold for this. You have to fill the mold. You have to paint it. You have to ship it. It's a lot of steps. So to those who pre-ordered a statue, please rest assured they are coming. It's just it takes a while, and we'll keep updating people as we get updates from the factory.
Now, I am incredibly excited because, as you know, I not only pre-ordered a statue, I also purchased any Velvet information that was available in that store because, as you know, despite her needing buffs, Velvet is absolutely the best character in the game. Yet again, Aaron, Oreos, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks
very
very much for having us.
Thanks, guys.